Hey everyone! So I hope that everyone's doing okay after Hurricane Sally. I still currently don't have power or internet at my house, so I'm actually outside in my patio right now filming this video because in my house it's dark and you wouldn't be able to see me or my anchor charts. But anyways, I have the area model strategy, and this strategy can actually be used for multiplication and division. So the first one that we're going to go over is multiplication. So with the area model, when dealing with multiplication, our first step is going to be to plan. And our problem that we have is 817 times 21. So our bigger number, or our number on top with the most digits, is going to determine our number of columns that we have. So 817 has 3 digits, which means that we're going to have 3 columns in our little grid. And then 21, our smaller number with less digits, has 2 digits, and so we're going to have 2 rows. So your bigger number determines your number of columns, and your smaller number determines your number of rows. So we have a 2 by 3 grid where we're going to solve our problem with. So step 2 is to just set up the area model and to actually multiply. So again, we have our 2 by 3 grid, and our problem is 817 times 21. So you're going to write the numbers from the problem in expanded form. So 817 in expanded form is going to be 800 from the hundreds place, 10 from the tens place, and 7 from the ones place. So you'll have 800, 10, and 7 on top of your grid. And 21 in expanded form is going to be 20 from the tens place and 1 from the ones place. So you're going to have 20 and 1 on the side, or for the rows of your grid. So when I was doing this problem, it kind of reminded me of Punnett squares, and I don't know if any of y'all remember doing that in high school or anything, but it's really pretty much the same concept. So you're going to take 820 and multiply those together and get 16,000. 10 times 20 is 200. 7 times 20 is 140. 800 times 1 is 800. 10 times 1 is 10. And 7 times 1 is 7. So you're just taking the numbers that you have on the outside and just combining them just like you would do in Punnett squares in science. So step 3, after you have multiplied all of your products together in your grid, you are going to add the products from the boxes together. So all these numbers over here are the numbers that you have in your grid. So we have 16,000 plus 200 plus 140 plus 800 plus 10 and plus 7. And after you add all of these up correctly, you should get 17,157. And step 4 is just going to be to show your completed problem, so you can write it as up and down like this, or you can write it across, just showing that 817 times 21 is 17,157. So with this strategy, with the multiplication, you're pretty much just breaking down your original problem into expanded form and getting the numbers into more friendlier numbers where you can add them together instead of actually multiplying. So the next thing that we're going to go over is division, because like I said, the area model can be used for multiplication and division. So for division, your first step is to write the divisor on the left side of your box. So again, it's kind of like the multiplication strategy where you have a box or a grid where you're just organizing your numbers. But in this case, our problem is 821 divided by 5. So the first thing we're going to do is take our divisor, which is 5, and put on the outside of our box or grid, and then 821, which is our dividend, is going to go right here on the inside of the box. So step 2 is just going to be to think in your head. So you're going to think, what number can I multiply the divisor 5 by to get the total dividend, 821, without going over? So I'm going to do this exact same problem when I get done going over this one and show you that you can really use any numbers and still get the same answer as long as you don't go over. But for now, I just chose a friendly number of 100. So if you have 100 times 5, you would get 500, and you didn't go over 821, so you're good. So then you would do the subtraction problem, and you would have 821 minus 500, and then you would get 321. So then 321 would be moved up here, and then you're going to think again, what can I multiply 5 by to get 321 but not go over? So again, I chose a friendly number of 60. So 60 times 5 is 300. So then you would bring 300 over here and do the subtraction problem again. So then you would have 321 minus 300, and that equals 21. And again, you would move your 21 up to the top, and again think, what can I multiply 5 by to get 21 but not go over? So it would be 4. Then you would have 4 times 5 equals 20. And again, you would subtract these. 21 minus 20 would be 1. So you would have a remainder of 1 for this problem. Step 3 is to just add the numbers on the top of the box. So it would be these numbers up here and the remainder to get your question or your answer. So we would take 100 plus 60 plus 4 and get 164 with a remainder of 1 would be our quotient or answer. Now, like I said in the beginning, you can really use any number that you want. So again, if we had 821 divided by 5, we would have 821, and then we would have our 5 on the outside. And if you are thinking about, in your head, thinking, what can I multiply 5 by to get 821 without going over, you could actually use 150 to get even closer to it. Here, I used 100, and I didn't go over, but you can actually get even closer if you want, but it really doesn't matter what number you use. But if we were to use 150, then we would do 150 times 5, and that equals 750. So we would put that there, and then we would do that subtraction problem, and we would get 71. And then we would move 71 up here, just like we did over here. And then again, you would think, what can I multiply 5 by to get 71 but not go over 71? So in this case, our number would be 14, and 14 times 5 is 70. And again, you would subtract, and you would get 1. And as in step 3, the next thing you're going to do is add the numbers on the top of the box. So we have 150 plus 14, and that would give us 164 with a remainder of 1 again. So as you can see, we get the same answer, but we use different numbers on top, but we still got the same answer in the end. So really, you could use any number you want. You could use 5. You could do 5 times 5, and you would still get the same answer. It would just take more steps to get the final result. But as you can see in this problem that I did right here, this only took 2 steps because I got closer to the 821 as opposed to when I used 100, and it took 3 steps. But like I said, you can use different numbers and still get the same result. But as I said with the multiplication strategy, you're pretty much just breaking stuff into friendlier numbers. Just like here, you are thinking of more friendlier numbers to break down the bigger number, and then you're just adding them together in the end instead of actually having to do division, or with multiplication, you're really just adding in the end. So that is my strategy. It is called the area model, and it can be used for multiplication or division. I hope that y'all have a great day, and I can't wait to see y'all again.